He's amazing. I used to watch him just spin in circles and not even answer to his name. So the fact that you're seeing everything that you see today is like monumental.
March of 2018, he was born, and as time went on, though, I began to notice things that, just were not the same that they were with my oldest daughter, Lexi.
We suspected Charles had a problem of some sort, probably finishing up his first year of age. I think that the real teller for us was the fact that he was a little slow to develop language skills at a speed where we would expect a 1 or 2 year old, for that matter, to exhibit.
I noticed little things here and there where, he just wasn't looking at the camera when a picture was being taken, or, when you were talking to him, he would never look you in the eye. And basically, we felt it was time to look into this a little bit more. So he was diagnosed with autism, and then we said, what's next?
When Charles was first diagnosed with autism, a lot of people, including physicians, told me things that were absolutely heartbreaking. Like he wouldn't have any friends, or if he did have friends, they would only be friends out of pity. And, that's so far off of my radar on my little 2-year-old boy at the moment. I just want him to say hi. His diagnosis and everything that comes with it has a lot of challenges.
The diagnosis is complicated. It's not just, oh, you have autism and then that's it. It's a multifaceted type of problem.
We were able to get on waiting lists for the many therapies that he was advised to take, 35 plus hours a week of ABA therapy. They wanted 10 hours of speech therapy, sensory therapy, OT, feeding.
We were turning everywhere, and everybody was saying, hey, it's going to be 6 months before we can see you, 12 months, 3 years before we can even do anything. So I was friends with Matt Harrington, and he's the president and CEO of LOGAN, and I called him and said, hey, we have an issue.
My initial assessment of Charles was done in his home. That was the first time I was able to meet Jim and Susie formally, and we began that with just discussing his new diagnosis and forming a plan on where to start. I have been working with Charles for just over 2.5 years now.
We knew that Logan was the right place to go. Just automatically we knew that we had to get him in there. The first time we took Charles to Logan, seeing the other clients there made me cry, just knowing that this was gonna be where he goes. It's not school, it's not pre-K, it's not Montessori, it's survival. If it wasn't for Logan, it would be a different world for us and my family right now.
We went back and we said, you guys are really, really helping him. We're seeing some improvements. We're having problems at home. And they said, well, we'll come to your home and help you. And they actually brought their people over to our house, and they would help us, and they would show us how to do all of these things, and created a schedule where they would follow certain protocols, and that created sort of some continuity with the issues that he was having.
Here at Logan, we pride ourselves on supporting the entire family. These programs at Logan help the families by coming into the home, working on skills that will help them be able to do things with their siblings and, take trips, do things in the community that they wouldn't normally do. So it expands far outside of just typical clinical skills and really looks at how do we make that family unit the most successful.
As he's gotten older, just taking him to the park or taking him to Target and just doing fun stuff like that with him, picking him up from school, it's been the best thing ever.
Charles has improved in many ways over the last 2.5 years. He was very early intervention, very young when he started, and just seeing him reach so many milestones in between starting and now being enrolled into a pre-K classroom and knowing that I was part of that is a huge deal to me.
He speaks. He says hi. He says hey. He says thank you. He says excuse me. He speaks all the time and I can understand him.
Oh, hi.
Cake.
I have seen a logarithmic improvement in Charles in his behavior, both around me, around his family, and around other kids his age.
They have basically broken him out of the shell, and now he can count to 10. I mean, I never thought he would ever be able to count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
He gives hugs to people when they walk in the door now, brushing his teeth. Being able to get up in the morning and say, you know, instead of sitting there laying down and me waking him up, he now comes in, he'll touch me and he goes, "Wake up, Dad." I mean, just little things like that that you never think would ever happen is happening now because of Logan.
There's a special place for everyone there because it's very hard. And I love him and he's amazing. And I couldn't imagine my life without him. I also couldn't imagine my life without Logan.
Charles has been the best brother that I could ever ask for, just because his joy and energy and the way he just views the world is my favorite part about him.
We've seen progress, miraculous progress. It's really been. It's been a miracle. But this story is not over. It's just the beginning. And we want Charles to be the best that he can be. And we know with Logan, he's going to be better than that.